The Palworld Feybreak update is massive, like 10 times larger than you were expecting. I just wanted to get in and start making videos, but there's so much in the patch notes, I'm actually wondering how I'm going to be able to cover it all, so that's what we're talking about for this video, the FEYBREAK Patch Notes. If you enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, share with friends, comment your thoughts down below, and yeah, I want to see a lot of comments from you guys just giving your thoughts as to the insanity of this update. And then we got a little teaser for the Palworld Terraria collab. We don't know how far it's going to go, but we got a sword that like fires cats. So there we go. Meowmere, the first bullet firing melee weapon in Palworld, has been added. It's only a small taste of the collab. 2025, more collaboration content will be released. I don't know if it's only going into Palworld or if like Terraria gets a huge monster taming update or something. But here we go. We have the new island, FEYBREAK. Mysterious island with challenges, glowing sand, and pals, as well as a new faction. And that also means we have new resources. So chromite is buried underground, can only be found by using pals or items that can detect metal. Neat. So we make a metal detector, and that's how we get one of the new resources, or we send out a pal, and they got a skill that does that. Cool. Hexalite quartz. Rare ore only exists on FEYBREAK, so now we gotta go find some more mining stuff. We also have a new mechanic, expeditions. Obtain supplies by sending pals out on expeditions at the PAL expedition station. That just sounds awesome and really shows how big this update is with how many things people weren't expecting. Like, it just keeps on going with all these really cool things and expeditions. Oh, so I can take the powerful pals that don't have room on my bases or just any excess pals, throw them out on expeditions, and if you get crazy supplies, that just sounds awesome. Reminds me of the Pokepelago, where you put your Pokemon in the cave, they come back with like really good stuff. Yeah, please let me make my pal empire even stronger. And it's also the scale of these pieces of content that make me think about the greater picture. That Palworld came out almost a year ago, and even though it's been in early access, it felt like a full game when it came out, and it only keeps on getting these bigger and bigger updates with tons of quality of life. So now it's like, oh, it's the ultimate Minecraft mod pack when it finally fully releases with infinite replayability. People aren't like hard all-in investing on it now. They got their taste in the beginning, but what they're coming back to is going to be immeasurably larger and have so much more longevity. It's going to be crazy to see where Palworld goes, and just little things like this that just keep on adding up. So we have a new mechanic, research. Conducting research at the PAL Labor Research Laboratory. And the thing is, it's still the same Palworld. It's not like, oh man, we got big, so now we have to tone it down on all of the abuse and slavery and stuff. No, your pals exist for production and nothing more, unless you really like them. The rest can be slaughtered. You can unlock permanent passives and rewards that increase the productivity of your base. So as the game gets bigger and more challenging and more resource demanding, we also have improvements to getting resources and base efficiency. Also, the buildings that increase work speed will now be unlocked as research rewards, which makes sense. So all of that's kind of, the game is just getting better and more concise. Predator pals. Vicious predator pals will now appear throughout the world. They're extremely difficult to defeat, but those strong enough to take them down will get rare resources in return for their bravery. So we got just like more challenges and overworld shenanigans going on. Great. The extremely difficult parts of the game are also getting pretty crazy. Like, those raids are just absurd. And again, like when the game gets full scale, who knows how all of that's going to interact now. Because I haven't done a fresh playthrough, especially going into Daybreak. I need to show and do the content, but how it all interacts together eventually when you have everything and everyone comes back in this game. Who even knows how crazy it's going to get. So we got bounty NPCs. Criminals have appeared all over the Palpagos Islands. Bring these crooks to justice and cash in the rewards. Nice. Strongholds. So we have the attack chopper, a large and very difficult platform oil rig that has a powerful attack chopper guarding it. So the oil rig, again, like another pretty tough challenge, has gotten harder as we get level 60 and all these other things, but also smaller rig has been added for beginners. So now we have like the beginner, intermediate, and new higher difficulty oil rig to conquer. Player cap increased to 60. New technologies and more await. And then, yeah, also going back to like starting over and playing the games like, okay, but then using the elixirs and maxing out your stats naturally and not coming in with like fully bred pals to just conquer everything. The progression, who knows how that's going to go, and achieving the end game and all that. But the update just keeps on going, guys. So we got Xenolord, new raid, Dark Mechanical Dragon that controls the Xeno army. Then we also have sphere modules. So now you can augment your spheres to do things. So like curving it increases the capture rate. I wonder if that's like a skill thing where it's like, yeah, this is a lot more difficult to throw. But if it lands, then you're going to be able to get a higher capture rate, and that can make legendary farming and that kind of stuff easier. Metal detector. Chromite buried underground. So yeah, we have the metal detector and the metal detecting pals. Pouches, increasing inventory size. Double jump boots. So yeah, also we have just apparel things to wear. Customize our character and playstyle or whatever we're wearing in our inventory and swapping out for. Like the multi-climate shirt, really cool. Where now we don't have to worry about freezing to death or burning to death. And then we can put on the specs and see our pals' IVs, and now it gets even crazier. Dashing while in the air. Revival potion brings your pals back to life. That's useful. And then new cooking recipes. So now we're going to have even more buffs. Hardcore mode. So and then this is where it's like, yo, now you can play however you want, as much. They're taking over. Like Palworld is the Pokemon killer, or at least the main serious competitor that we have not seen ever. Because like, yeah, there was Digimon in the 90s, but Digimon, it was like a cool side thing, but it didn't have any power to actually beat Pokemon. Temtem went under. All the other things are just Pokemon knockoffs, but like, oh, we have hardcore mode, and we also have random pal mode. A randomizer built into a monster catching game. Why is the like, and then it's also so weird, because everyone hated Palworld when it came out. Not everyone, but there was a lot of just blind hate, unjustified dislike of Palworld for reasons. So a lot of the weirdos that have been waiting for a Pokemon competitor so Game Freak can step it up and make better games suddenly wanted Pokemon and Game Freak to sue Palworld. But then when Pokemon finally sued Palworld, now everyone's saying, oh, but that's just big corporate billionaire company bad because billionaires defending their patents is bad. It's just the nonstop toxicity and hypocrisy that we see in the Pokemon community, like Generation 8. Bring back National Dex. We need to be able to use all Pokemon. Generation 9. No, all Pokemon bad because now we're getting caught cheating since we don't know how to transfer Pokemon or catch them, and we've never actually played or owned any Pokemon games. We just hack. Either way, we're seeing official implementation of different modes into Palworld where player and pal death is permanent. So it's kind of hard to do open world Nuzlocks and like force that on players or something, but pal death being permanent, there we go, can be enabled in world settings. We also have random pal mode, and there's different kinds of randomization. So you can randomize by region, randomize pal spawns while maintaining a certain regional range, or all pal spawns in all regions will be completely randomized. Can be chaotic. I imagine you could just, like, that's just the world settings. So you just make your server that. Good luck, have fun, everyone. And also, the devs support modding as long as you're not using it to cheat against other players. So then we still have that Minecraft infinite modding replayability opportunity where, yeah, you can have a cool customized server, or someone makes like an insane mod pack when the game finally comes out, and then the game goes super duper ridiculous. The infinite ceiling of Palworld just keeps getting higher as they keep putting in like more and more updates that we weren't expecting and making the game this big in just early access. Like, what's the end game? Are we going to get the full release at like level 100? And then we have the Sky Island and the Legendary Whale and stuff? And how long is that going to be? I don't care how long it takes. The game's amazing. And then you just keep up and it's going to relaunch again. Like, and I want to see millions of concurrence again. The game deserves it. So then we also have replayability and different playthroughs and all kinds of crazy things that can be done. New area discovery bonus, experience points when you discover a location for the first time. Also, really nice. Just like, hey, bonus experience, bonus levels. That's going to change my level 30 speedrun in 4 hours. Same with a lot of these other things. A huge list of new weapons, new buildings. Electric egg incubator. 10 eggs at the same time. There we go. You just make a breeding thing, you have 10 of them going, and then you line it up, and then 10 eggs at the same time. Or it means like you can leave, come back, and now you're not behind on eggs. So that's cool. Guild chest. Items placed in a guild chest are shared among all guild chests. And this is where I was thinking, like, oh, there's just too much for me to test and figure out about this game. Does that mean if I put a guild chest in 2 bases and I fill them up, can I now take resources from another base and use them in another base? There's already mods for that. People want, like, global storage. Does this activate global storage? Is it worth farming for, like, 10 of them? Is it worth converting almost all of your storage into guild chests? We gotta find out. Just tested it. Guild storage is between bases, so you can put like 5,000 iron into the guild storage and then smelt in a different base, but you're only allowed 1 per base. Item retrieval machine. Search for and take away items from any chest within your base. Also really nice. You put one of those by your station, and then you can just pull the items before you leave on an adventure instead of like, where's this? Where's that? Where's this? So searchable base storage. Sounds like a mod item. Now it's legit because the game's been early access and all the cool quality of life is coming in at some point. Sell pals and items to other players in the flea market for servers and those kind of shenanigans. Medicine rack. Pals will take medicine stored to treat their illness and injuries. Yes, please. Large-scale stone oven and gigantic furnace. Multiple pals can work together to cook and refine at higher speeds. So the super mega factory end games are coming through. Skill fruit orchard. Yeah, gold coin assembly line. Counterfeiting. See, the game isn't taking themselves seriously still, and I love it. Ladders going up and down without stairs. Pure quartz mine. Infinite amount from the comfort of your base. So we finally have the quartz going. And then accumulator, extra electricity can function at night. Everything gets fixed with every update with Palworld because the devs care. It's like, there's been a Palworld update in a while. When's the game going to be finished? Bro. It's already bigger than any AAA game, and it's still early access. Elemental treasure chest, so you need a pal of a specific type. Players can now sit on chairs. You can now obtain successful bounty tokens by defeating field bosses. They provide permanent passives to the player. So yeah, I like the elixirs giving you permanent stats now, and then you can hit your cap. So there's a grind there. Permanent passives, that's also pretty awesome. You can now obtain successful bounty tokens by defeating field bosses. These tokens provide permanent passives to the player. I like how the elixirs give you permanent stats up until your player cap. That's pretty awesome. So you can grind out that, and now you get passives just from doing other content. So you turn into the Giga Chat that can finally defeat raids and stuff. Player climbing speed has been increased, max amount of power from Life Monk 14. Implemented sphere critical hits. So if you throw at like a weak spot, headshot kind of thing, you can actually increase the capture rate. Neat. Experience points gained from crafting and building has been increased, some more experience. Player animations. Invincible when teleporting or exiting dungeons. When mounted, pals now cancel active skills that are in effect, allowing it to move immediately. I hated that when I was doing my speed run because I'd like hop on and then it's like, nope, gotta charge up this attack. Base changes. Replace foundation structures and defensive walls without destroying them has been implemented. Walls already built can be upgraded. So you can build your base. And then you don't have to worry about rebuilding it. You just, boom, stone, boom, metal, GG easy. Foundation structures, Japanese style. Recreate Sakurajima architecture. Base level 30. Pal transportation work has been improved while the player is not in base. Very nice. Single player co-op modes can build much more freely around the world, except in some dungeons. Pals in the monitoring stand will now be saved, which is also really nice. So I can swap them out, bring them back in. Boom, they remember what they're slaving. Limited time skins, unique skills, fun, lawn bowling on Wumpo Botan, neat, snow bowling, all kinds of stuff, who knows, meta, competitive, 3v3, ground skill, dark skill, dragon skill. How am I supposed to cover all this? Passive skills, rainbow, like the future, how am I going to remember all of this to make videos when the game fully releases? I mean, it's just going to be like the re-release all over again. I get to make every guide from the ground up because people that played early access, they're not going to remember how to play the game when they come back a year from now, or like however many years when the game fully releases, let alone know how to interact with all the new stuff. We're like, oh yeah, I used to build my base this way and I used to do this. We're like, well, that's just bad now because they've quality of lifed it and they've done all these other things they need to keep track of. It's like making the ultimate Palworld guide. It gets more and more complex, and it even affects the starting of the game. Oh my goodness. And then breeding. Rainbow passive skill. Breed the ultimate pal. Swift is now rainbow passive. And the chance of obtaining it has decreased because it's that broken. Work suitability enhancement books. So you can just make a pal's work suitability better. Sick. The limit on strengthening pals has been lifted. Possible to further develop your pals. I wonder if this is a translation thing, because lifted usually means removed, but if we're just talking about raised, like, that's still fine. We're okay, cool. Instead of the 20% gain or whatever it is, because I haven't played in months, does it go 30%? Does it go 50%? Like, how far do you get with souls? Either way, soul farming now more important, but also kind of more possible since you can hatch 10 eggs at a time. If a summoned pal has 3 moves that are all on cooldown, just use the most basic move of its element. Nice. So that actually kind of gives it an extra rotation. So I'm guessing like the dragon shot attack or like whatever water gun move there is. So you can buff it up like that, and then it'll just kind of like hit even with some kind of little bits of moves, which is cool. Enemy pals now use every move they know at that level. Okay, that's fair. Alpha pal eggs are no longer all huge, but now each the appropriate size. Filter function to the technology screen. Add pals to your favorites with a single button. Improve pal box sorting, making it easier to find the pal you're looking for. Font size. HUD no longer becomes hidden over time. Crime. Crime has been expanded. Balance adjustments. Weight multiplier for all items can now be changed in the world settings. Technology unlock levels have been adjusted. Selling prices adjusted. Merchant stock prices adjusted. I also wonder if they have like more merch stuff, like more merchandise changes. Crafting recipes adjusted. Boss enemies now immune to stuns become staggered when their stun accumulation hits 100. Oh, so you just can't like perma stun them with grenades or electric stuff, I guess. And then there's some kind of accumulation. Like, that's how it should be, and that's fair. Some technology is unlocked by defeating tower bosses. Good. Reason to actually play the game. So more than, what is it, 30% of players can beat Lylene. Blazemat Ryu. Legendary pals are now level 60. They can learn more powerful skills. So I'm guessing that's like all the overworld pals, so even though it's like a launch part of the game. No, Jet Dragon's level 60. Good luck, have fun. Recovery amount of Felbat and Love Ender partner skills has been increased. Yeah, that lifesteal wasn't that great. But now, seeing that, it's like, viable? I want something to be viable instead of just like the meta that there is if you try to be competitive or just go for the highest DPS. I want some more pal diversity, even though it's kind of hard with like the stats and the passives and stuff. Base pals, so they don't get stuck as often every time. Just put this in every patch. Remove Herobrine. NPCs have been added to various locations. Free Pal Alliance Judicator appear at the camps. Slow down work speed animation of base pals with speed buffs to prevent processing load from increasing too much when the effect is played at high speed. Pal deck to Palpedia to be more in line with other languages. Thank you for your continued support of Palworld. You got it, coach. Oh my, bro, I'm overwhelmed. Jeez. Okay. Time to get at it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.